Imagine waking up one morning to see that Bitcoin has hit a jaw-dropping $1 million per coin. It sounds like a wild fantasy, but with the unpredictable nature of cryptocurrencies, anything seems possible. But what would it actually mean for the world if Bitcoin reached such an astronomical price? Let's break down the potential impact. Who wins, who loses, and what it could mean for the future of money. First of all, let's talk about the sheer scale of value. If Bitcoin hits $1 million per coin, that would place its total market capitalization at over $21 trillion, assuming the supply remains close to the current 21 million coins. To put that into perspective, that's more than the current market cap of gold and would make Bitcoin worth more than the GDP of most countries. It would officially become the largest asset class in the world. But what would cause such a dramatic price increase? It's likely to be a combination of factors. Massive institutional adoption could play a big role, with corporations, investment funds, and even governments diving into Bitcoin as a hedge against economic instability. Hyperinflation of traditional fiat currencies could also drive people toward Bitcoin as a store of value. And let's not forget about global economic crises, financial collapses, or major technological breakthroughs, making Bitcoin the go-to digital asset. Now let's talk about the winners and losers. If Bitcoin hits $1 million, the biggest winners are obvious: early investors and Bitcoin maximalists. The people who held on to their coins through all the ups and downs would suddenly find themselves with life-changing wealth. The crypto whales and institutional investors who poured billions into Bitcoin would see astronomical returns. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. The losers could be the average person who never bought in or who sold too early. Traditional banks and financial institutions that didn't adapt to the changing landscape could also face massive disruptions. And let's not ignore the fact that governments could face serious challenges. If Bitcoin becomes a global store of value, it would erode the power of fiat currencies, causing central banks to lose significant control over monetary policy. On the flip side, some governments might embrace Bitcoin rather than fight it. Countries with unstable economies and hyperinflation could see Bitcoin as a savior, providing citizens with a reliable way to store and transfer wealth. Think of places like Venezuela, Argentina, or even smaller nations with struggling currencies. Now let's address something important. A $1 million Bitcoin would absolutely attract the attention of regulators worldwide. If governments felt their traditional financial systems were under threat, they could implement stricter regulations or even attempt to ban Bitcoin altogether. But here's the thing. Bitcoin's decentralized nature makes it extremely difficult to shut down, and any attempt to do so would likely drive its price even higher, as it would reinforce its image as a reliable store of value that's immune to government control. We'd also see a massive shift in wealth and financial power. People who once felt powerless against traditional financial systems would suddenly have an alternative. New financial ecosystems could emerge, built on Bitcoin and other decentralized assets, making traditional banks less relevant. But what about day-to-day use? If Bitcoin hit $1 million, spending it on everyday transactions would be impractical. People wouldn't be buying coffee with Bitcoin. Instead, it would likely serve as a store of value, like gold, rather than a medium of exchange. The Lightning Network and other Layer 2 solutions might try to bridge this gap, but most likely, Bitcoin would be held rather than spent. And then there's the question of energy consumption. A $1 million Bitcoin would attract even more miners, increasing the network's energy use unless major technological improvements are made. This would spark debates about Bitcoin's environmental impact and could lead to more innovation in energy-efficient mining techniques. So, what's the endgame? If Bitcoin reaches $1 million, it could reshape the global financial landscape forever. It could force banks and governments to adapt to a world where decentralized assets hold more power than traditional financial instruments. It could create a new class of millionaires and billionaires while leaving those who ignored it in the dust. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell so you never miss an update on the wild world of Bitcoin and other fascinating financial topics.